Okay, well, I'm going to get started because I don't want to keep you guys hanging on. And if we get some more coming in, we'll let them in. So thank you so much for coming this evening and signing into this. I'm really excited about this new scheduling software and about actually, I'm more excited about Father gave me responsibility to kind of coordinate all of our volunteers who participate in these different ministries. And I'm excited about doing that because it's giving me an opportunity to contact a number of people I haven't spoken with in a very long time. And so it's been great. Just, reconnecting with people and asking them if they have any ideas of people that would like to get involved in different ministries. Hello, Marietta.
Hello.
And there's Paul. Good deal. So it's been a great opportunity, but I'm just as excited about having the right tools because many of you know, Sid certainly knows that I was doing this when I was here before, and then I handed it off to Sid, who graciously accepted the responsibility. And she did it for nearly 2 years, I think. And
almost 3.
All via spreadsheet. And the problem with scheduling all of this via spreadsheet is there's a lot of different variables and considerations that people want you to consider when you're making a schedule, and it can be complicated. So this software that we're going to be using uncomplicates all of that. It allows people to put in their preferences, what mass they choose or what mass says. It doesn't have to be just one, it could be 2 or any of the 3. Maybe you don't care which mass you go to indicate when you're going to be unavailable, either out of town or something else that's planned that you're not going to be available. And this is all before we run the schedule. So when we run the schedule, it takes all of these things into consideration and then equitably distributes the slots to the number of people that have signed up. So we don't have one reader who reads every other week and another reader who only reads once every 2 months. So it's fairly distributed according to the preferences. Now, if you want more opportunities, then you might say, oh, I'm available at more masses, and then maybe you'll have more opportunities. But for the most part, the system kind of figures that out and does a really good job of fairly assigning the different slots that we have available. So my goal tonight is just to take you quickly through the software, and then in terms of what it's going to look like to you and how to use it, and then to answer any questions that you might have. Okay, so that's my goal. Does that make sense so far?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
good. So what I'm going to do now is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share a screen. So all you're really going to be able to see is my screen, and you may see some people, what's on my screen, and you may see some people down the side. So what I'd like to do is play this short video here for you. And then I think this will be a good introduction. And I'm not going to play all these videos for you, but there's a couple I picked out that I think might be helpful. So let me go ahead and play that.
Welcome to your tutorial on Ministry Scheduler Pro's web
Can
terminal.
everybody hear that?
The web terminal enables you to
Yeah.
pick when you are scheduled and with whom, easily find a sub if you can't make one of your scheduled dates, download resources for upcoming services, and update your availability. By taking advantage of the web terminal, you'll be scheduled at times that work well for you and be able to quickly and easily get the information you need for your services. When your church gets started using the web terminal, you will get an email similar to this one with a link to the web terminal and your username and password. By clicking on the link or copying and pasting it into your web browser, you'll be taken to your church's web terminal to log in. It's a good idea to bookmark this page so that it's easy to find next time you need to log in. Enter your username and password and then click Log In. When you log into the web terminal on a computer, you will land on the desktop version of the web terminal in the Home tab, which gives a brief overview of how to navigate the web terminal and may include announcements your scheduler has added.
Now I'm going to pause there for just a moment and say that right now we have not yet run our first schedule. So you're not going to see the full schedule. That's not even going to be an option. The only thing you're going to see, I think it says my profile. It's this one right here. That's all you're going to have right now.
Can
And
we pull that up on our, can we pull that up on our laptop right now?
Sure, of course you can. Yeah, just use that link that's in that email that I sent out, that first email.
Oh,
that
okay,
will take you to the sign-in form and you can kind of follow along. It'd be a
okay.
great idea. So
Okay.
I'll keep this running, but just so you know, we don't see everything here. We don't see my schedule. We don't see full schedule. We just see the profile.
By logging in on a mobile device or clicking the tab in the desktop version, you can be brought to the My Schedule tab, where you can view the dates on which you have been scheduled. From this tab, you can also
So once I run the schedule, then Christine, will you mute yourself, please?
What?
I'm hearing echo. Will you mute yourself, please?
Okay.
Never mind, I got you. Okay. She's in the kitchen and I'm hearing myself. So anyway, so this will be your schedule, and then this will be substitutes that have been made. So anyway, I'll let this continue.
request a substitute for one of your scheduled dates. Request a sub by choosing the date you cannot attend and selecting Request a Sub. You can optionally type a message and then submit your request. Your request and message will be emailed to everybody who is available to fill in for you. When the position has been filled, you will be notified via email. If viewing the web terminal on a mobile device, the experience will be optimized for the smaller screen, with tabs at the bottom and more details for each service available by clicking on the service itself.
You can ask.
At the bottom of this tab, or in the Open Positions tab on the mobile device, you will see a list of any swap requested or open positions you are qualified to fill. To fill the position, just click the Volunteer Now button. In some cases, you may have the option to trade positions with a volunteer who requested a sub. To do so, select the trade option and then the date or dates you would be willing to trade with this volunteer. And
Now, in my experience, most of the time you're not going to ask for a trade, but you might. You're going to ask for a sub. And then you will have plenty of opportunities to be a substitute for other people that can't make it. So the easiest way is you'll get an email saying so-and-so has just requested a sub, and you'll just click on a link on that email and it'll be processed. You won't even have to sign into this.
Deacon Scott,
Yes.
will the schedule still be printed in the church bulletin each week?
I think so.
Okay.
One of the things I'm going to show you in a minute is how, once all this is done, how we can print it out and we can put it in the church bulletin, or we can put it up in the narthex or wherever we want to put it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
mail will be sent to that volunteer offering the trade. If accepted, you will both get confirmation emails of your newly scheduled dates. Clicking on the link for the date and time of a service in the web terminal will bring you to a zoomed-in view of that service's page, where you can see more details about the service, including who else is scheduled. You may also see some additional items on this page, like resources or notes, depending on what information your MSP administrator or ministry leader has provided. To download a resource, just click on it. Depending on your computer settings, the resource will either open automatically or download to the default folder on your computer. Finally, you can view or leave comments or questions about the service and interact with others who are scheduled.
So they call it service, but these are masses basically. And if we want to put resources such as our mass, our little handout that Mary Weaver's doing now for masses, we could actually put the PDF in here for that mass and you could download it from here.
To view the full schedule, click on the Full Schedules tab. Click the date of the service you wish to view. You can also access the zoomed in view for a service in the desktop version by again clicking on the date and time of the service. By clicking on the rosters tab in the desktop version, you can view a list of the other members of your ministry and connect with them through email or by phone. If you wish to be excluded from these lists, just contact your scheduler. On a mobile device, we will cover how to view this in just a moment. Finally, the My Profile tab is used to update your scheduling preferences and availability. Use this tab before each new scheduling period to tell your scheduler when you are available and when you prefer to be scheduled.
So this is the most important thing right now, is that you update this screen, that you sign in and you indicate any weekends that you're not going to be available. I'm going to be running the schedule on Monday, so we can get it out before Christmas and everybody can then look ahead. We're running January and February. So if you know you're going to be out of town or unavailable for some other reason on a particular Sunday, then you want to put the dates in here now before Monday. Okay? And that way the system won't try to schedule you on a date that you know you're not going to be available.
In the top area of the My Profile tab, you can update your contact information. You can also change the password you use to log into the web terminal. Use the next area to tell your scheduler at what services or masses you prefer to be scheduled. To add a new time as a preference, click the Add button and select the time from the list. To remove a service preference, select the service time you no longer wish to serve at and click the Remove button. If you want to serve only at the times listed, be sure to mark the checkbox labeled Schedule me only at the times in this list. Use the next area to let your scheduler know you're up.
So I'm going to pause there. Most people have just a single mass. That's the mass they go to. But some people sometimes go to the 5, sometimes they go to the 8. So then you could have both masses there, and it would schedule you for what's available, taking into consideration both of those masses.
Available dates and ensure that you are not scheduled at times when you aren't available. Just click the Add button below Can't Serve Dates. There are 4 types of can't serve dates to choose from. You may indicate that you cannot serve on a particular date, during a range of dates, on a particular service or mass, or for a particular weekend or day of the month. In the area below, there are additional options that can be applied to the can't serve time. Each can't serve time needs to be entered separately. Finally, if you'd like to include a personal note to your scheduler, you can do so in the desktop version by placing the cursor inside the text box below the comments section and typing a note. If you are on the desktop version, it is important that you click the Submit button after making changes to your profile. If you do not click the Submit button, your changes will not be saved. In the upper right corner of the desktop version of the web terminal, you can use the Switch To option to switch between profiles of different family members, allowing you to make changes to their preferences or request substitutes on their.
Okay.
So we're not making extensive use of family members, but this is a really nice feature if mom is a reader and son is an altar server and they only want to be scheduled at the same time. Okay, so that's what family members do. That works well for Christine and I. I'm putting in my schedule, and then Christine wishes to serve at a mass where I'm scheduled. So you have the ability to do some of those things, and I can, if it gets a little complicated, I can do that for you. You just have to let me know what you want to do. But again, before Monday, otherwise we're set for January and February.
As needed. On a mobile device, this can be found in the Settings tab. The Settings tab is also where you can switch to the desktop version if you need to view a roster. This area can also be used to sync your scheduled services with your iCal, Outlook, or Google Calendars. You've just seen how to use your church's web terminal. By taking advantage of the web terminal, you'll be given control to be scheduled at times that work for you and empowered to stay more connected to your ministry.
So that's in a browser on any computer. You can do all this. You don't have to have a smartphone. You can do it all right on the computer. But now there's also, and that's done by logging in, which some of you have done. I think Father Bill may have just done it. And that's the link that was in that first email that I sent you. And many of
I hate
you,
to tell you this, but it won't, it tells me that it doesn't recognize my password.
then you've probably already signed in and changed your password.
Ow. That makes sense. Yeah, I did actually.
There you go.
You're so
Yeah,
smart.
so that password is a temporary password that comes in that email.
Okay,
And then you're asked to change it to a permanent password.
okay.
Okay?
We might try it, Paul.
So
Okay,
that will get you to this link. My username happens to be dments and then my password. Now, once you've signed in, this is what you're going to see right now. You are just going to see your profile and help because we have not done the schedule yet. So there's not going to be any rosters. There's not going to be a full schedule. My schedule is going to be and that'll appear up here where these are. You'll see my schedule and full schedule. So if you want to see all the times that you're serving, you click on my schedule. But if you want to see what everybody that's scheduled,
full schedules.
you'll be able to see the whole schedule by going to the full schedule. Okay? All right. So let's go one more place. So the other thing is they mentioned on a smartphone, an iPhone, an Android phone, there's an app. There's an app, and you'll want to download this app onto your phone.
Okay,
And you do that either in the App Store on an iPhone or in the Google Play Store on Android.
oh, I need my cell phone. It's in my bag.
Your bag, which bag?
Okay. Now I'm going to just play a short video on the mobile app, and then that'll be the end of our videos.
Welcome to your tutorial on Ministry Scheduler Pro's mobile app. The MSP Mobile App enables you to check when you are scheduled and with whom, request a sub, view notes and resources for upcoming services, and update your availability. By taking advantage of the mobile app, you can quickly and easily access the information you need while on the go. Let's take a look at how it works. To begin using the MSP mobile app, go to the App Store for an iPhone or the Play Store for an Android phone and search for Ministry Scheduler Pro. Install the app. When you first open the app, you will need to enter your church's organization ID. If you're not sure what this is, search for your church by city and state or contact your scheduling administrator. After entering your organization ID or selecting your church from the list, enter your MSP username and password and click Log In. When you log into the mobile app, you will be brought to the My Schedule tab, which will show a list of your scheduled services. Click on a service to view more information about that service or to request a sub. In order to request a sub, click on the Request Sub button, enter a comment if desired, and then click Submit Sub Request to submit the request. This will send an email to anyone in the ministry who is not already scheduled and might be able to fill your position. To view the full schedule, click on the Schedules tab. In this view, you will also see if there are any open positions you are eligible to fill. Just like in the My Schedule tab, click on any service to view more information. After clicking on a service, you can view the other volunteers who are scheduled at this service by choosing All Positions. Your MSP administrator may have also added resources such as readings, instructions, or notes. To view any attached resources or notes for the service, click on the title and you will be able to view or download the item. Both the Schedule and Open Positions tabs will show a list of available positions that you are able to. Can't serve time repeats every year.
You guys can watch this video on your own. We don't need to keep watching it. Let me stop sharing. So, does everybody think they have the basic idea of what we're trying to do and the mechanics of going into your profile and setting your away dates and making sure your mass times are right? and all of that stuff.
Yes, and I'll
I
answer
think
for
this is a
John,
great
yes.
tool.
It'll be even better as we get more people. And that's the next thing. We need more people. So let me announce something to you that I think is extremely exciting. And that is that beginning in January, we're going to start using 2 readers at every Mass instead of just 1. What that's going to do is give more people an opportunity to read. So I think that that's going to be a great thing, but we could use some more readers, especially at certain Masses like the 5 o'clock. We could use some more readers. So that way Sid doesn't have to read every week. Right, Sid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I think that's exciting. So if you have friends, people that you know that you think would be a good reader, either let me know or invite them to read and just have them get in touch with me and I'll add them. And we'll do a training where we're going to be doing I'm not sure when. Most of the people we have now have read already. We've read before. They're not new to this. But at some point, we're going to have kind of regular gatherings at the church where we can talk about whatever we need to talk about. And maybe for certain small groups of people that haven't read before, I'll be offering them some training and sharing. Is there anything, many of you are readers, is there anything here that anybody would recommend that would be helpful in terms of training for reading while we're talking about readers?
Proper use of the mic.
Or what?
Proper use of the mic.
Proper use of the mic, you mean bringing it down to your mouth?
Wherever possible. The boom's a little short to really do that effectively for, I think, a lot of people. But yeah, exactly.
Yep, I
Not
agree.
popping your P's and all that good, happy, fun stuff.
I was looking for it. What, I haven't talked to Father about this, so we may not.
Surprise, Father.
Fast
But
time.
Yeah.
this is a workbook for readers. It has all the weekend readings and the solemnities for the year. And then it has comments in the side giving you tips as to how it gives you background on the reading, and then it gives you some tips, where you should place emphasis and things like that. Would something like this be helpful for the readers?
Oh, yeah.
We use them and they are amazing. They
Yeah.
help with the pronunciation of the hard words.
Right?
They help with your cadence and having a little bit of a backstory, and it kind of helps with your emotion as well when you're reading. So we find them very, very helpful.
Yeah, I always did too.
So where we can get that book?
I don't know. I'm just introducing this to Father right now.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Has
Father supports it, but Father can't pay for it.
Father has to find a wealthy donor.
Are
Well,
they,
or people can buy their own. I'm sure you can get something
I
like
think
that.
they're
You can
how much
certainly
it
order
cost?
I think they're like $10.
Oh,
they're
okay.
$10 to $20. I don't know.
Yeah, they're at the
I don't know what the
Paraclete.
exact price is.
Couldn't
The
we
Arts
just
of
have one
Paraclete.
copy in the sacristy?
Well, we could, but it's nice to read it at home and go over
Yeah.
the readings
Yeah.
and prepare that way than to just 5 minutes before you read. The idea
You can
is
certainly
that
order one through the Paraclete.
Right.
I can get us a few copies. We have at Our Lady of Fatima, I think we've probably got way more than are needed. I'll see if I can get a few copies.
Where are
Okay,
they?
good. Yeah.
Deacon Bill has them
Okay.
Oh, at Fatima. I'm sorry.
at Our Lady of Fatima. Yeah.
My former church.
His former church and my former church.
Deacon Scott, since you brought it up, what is it going to look like in January when you say there's 2 readers per Mass?
It's going to look like the first reader will come up like always, but instead of standing there and waiting to read the second reading, when they're done, they will go back to their seat. And then after the psalm is sung, they will go up to read Oh, the second reading, the second reader will. Now, I know at the 5 o'clock mass, because we don't have music, what we'll probably do is have the first reader read both the first reading and the psalm.
Yes.
And then the second reader, the first reader will go back down to their seat. A nice way to do it is the two of you kind of meet there in the middle
Mhm.
when you're coming down and they're coming up, and you bow together. And then one goes back to the seat and one goes up to the ambo.
I've been going to St. Mary's here in Athens with Father Orr, and that's the way they do it. They split the reading and everything, and
Right.
so
Most
the two
most
readers
parishes,
come bow.
most parishes have two readers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
Of course, it's always been a little unique in that way. But I feel like we need to give more people more opportunities, and Father agreed with me, and so we've decided to start this in January.
Are you going to put on the schedule which reading we will have?
It'll say reader
Okay.
1, reader 2.
Okay, cool.
What about EMs? Are they going to be scheduled eventually?
Okay, so let's go on to, if we don't have any more questions about readers, then we can move on to extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. And yes, the communion ministers are going to be scheduled. They are going to be scheduled. Now, some of you might be both a reader and a communion minister, and that's great. That's great. You just can't serve at the same time at the same mass. In other words, you're not going to be a reader and a communion minister at the same mass, except in dire emergency where nobody else showed up to do it.
There's always the exception.
Yeah, but it's not the rule. So, but if you're interested in doing both, let's say you're interested in being a communion minister and a reader, you can put both of those ministries down in your profile, and the system will schedule you. Both Christine and Elisa, I think, have both.
Is there a way to send you a note from
So
inside the app?
extraordinary ministers. So let me talk about extraordinary ministers for just a moment. So we have just started using extraordinary ministers again because the bishop has issued a new mandate, as I think you're all aware, that allows the reception of communion on the tongue. Okay, communion on the tongue. That means we need a separate line for the people that want to receive on the tongue. So we need 3 ministers: the priest, the deacon, and the extraordinary minister. Now, there may be some times when we don't need 3, or the church is only half full. Maybe the deacon and the priest will be able to take care of it. 1 line for the hand, 1 line for the tongue. But right now, the plan is for the extraordinary minister to distribute communion in the hand, and the priest and the deacon on the tongue. Now, we may decide as we go on that we need there's more hand people than tongue people at a certain mass. So then we might switch, and maybe we'll have 2 hand lines and 1 tongue line, but it will always be a clergy member that will do the tongue. And the extraordinary minister will do the hand. Okay? Father, correct me if I say anything wrong.
I was just amused at hearing about the 1 tongue line.
The 1 tongue line.
As opposed to the 2 tongue line.
2 tongues, forked tongue. We'll have a special line for you. Okay, so
I think that's called the confessional.
yeah, there you go. There you go. So, questions on extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion? All right, well, I'm going to thank you all for participating. Make sure you get your preferences up to date as far as when you're serving and when you can't serve. And I'll be running that schedule on Monday, and you will get an email on Monday saying you've been scheduled, and you'll be able to see your schedule.
Okay.
And then at that point, if you forgot to take yourself out for a certain day, or if something comes up, just request a sub. Just request.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Deacon Scott.
Thank
You've done a
you.
good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, God bless you all. Have a good evening. And we'll see
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you. God bless
Thank
you.
You
you.
too.
You can
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.